Assalamu alaikum and good morning to everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank and welcome all of you here for this important annual event of Zam Zam Foundation. And I'd like to specially acknowledge and welcome our distinguished guests, Venerable Dr. Professor Moragallagama Uparathanathero, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, Department of Pali, Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka. Welcome, sir. And also I'd like to welcome all the other religious leaders and Reverend Asiri Pereira, our friend and retired President of Bishop Methodist Church Sri Lanka, and also he works at the capacity of Interfaith Program Advisor for Zam Zam Foundation. And Maulavi, Dr. Ajwad Al-Zahim, PhD, Al-Azhari, the Treasurer of All Ceylon Jamiatul Ulama. I'd like to welcome you as well. And Dr. Vinya Aryaratna, President of Sarvodaya Foundation, and Mr. Sanjeeva Vimal Gunaratna, Director General of National Secretariat of NGO, and also Mr. M.G. Amarasiri Piyadasa, Provincial Director of Central Province Education. Who's been our long-time partner in Zam Zam Foundation, all the work we do. And there are many more to be mentioned by name, but in the interest of time, I save that. And I welcome all of you here, despite the weather conditions, who's come from far and wide, and all the graduates who are going to be graduating today, and all the other guests. Welcome, and I hope you will have a wonderful day and enjoy the proceedings. I'd like to take a few minutes also to highlight the purpose of this event, as well as why Zam Zam Foundation has taken up something of this nature. When Zam Zam Foundation was found almost 10 years ago, or over 10 years ago, there was one objective. One main objective was to help build a nation, a sustainable nation. But the journey has evolved since then, keeping the same objective. When we started with multiple programs to help the needy, relief work, including building houses. We have built over 1,000 houses for the needy people around the country. And we have helped school children to go to school with the school packs, with a School with a Smile program. And we have also helped hundreds of thousands of people with Feed a Family program and many other programs. While these are still relevant and remain a requirement or need for the country, during our journey we realized there are other things that we need to do, other interventions that we needed to do as an organization to build a sustainable nation. With this intention, we looked at what is the problem. If I ask all of you today, as a country, Sri Lanka, what do we really lack? That's a big question, right? In terms of wealth, the natural resources, we have a sea surrounding the country. There are some countries with small beaches and less resources have gone far beyond us. So what do we really lack? Why are we still a developing country from the, I don't know, for how long since we ever started talking about the country? Sri Lanka is a developing country. It's a question, are we really developing? Are we better or worse than last decade? So when we look at this, I believe you all would agree that human capital, building the capacity of our human capital, is the solution for our country to thrive as a nation and to build the nation. Now, when we talk about building capacity, there are various aspects that we can talk about. One, of course, is knowledge, right? There are enough universities, institutes that are providing various different programs, graduates program, the postgraduate programs, up to PhD programs. We don't have lack of institutes, but still, when we look at some leaders in the society, there are certain skills that are not nurtured or developed. That's one deficit we see. Okay. The second one, we have educated people, we have people with qualifications, people with education, but as a country, we are in the deficit of values. So it's very important that we build capacity, we give knowledge and skills along with values. If I may take an example, we have doctors. What is the job of the doctor that we expect? It's to save human lives, to make their health better. But if you take all the doctors, I'm not again generalizing, I'm talking in what we see, not only in Sri Lanka, around the world, because I am in the healthcare field, I am very much aware of what's going on in this field. So there are doctors who are ready to operate a patient who does not really need a surgery for the sake of earning extra few dollars or rupees. So they're educated, but what is the deficit? What do they lack? That is the value part that is lacking. And we have leaders who lead the country, and regardless of any party or politics, they get richer, their families get richer, but the country is becoming poorer. And we have religious leaders, we hear more sermons, more religious sermons, whether it is from the Buddhist temples, churches, mosques. We have more knowledge on religion, but today we have also more child abuse cases. We have more people exploiting the vulnerables, corruptions. So what is the problem? It's not only the knowledge. Yes, there is a deficit in the knowledge and skills, but there is also a deficit, a big portion, big part where very few organizations or very few people pay attention to, that is value. We want doctors with value. We want teachers with value. We want leaders with value. We want everybody, religious leaders with value. This is the problem that Zam Zam identified, and we thought we needed to intervene in this area to build a sustainable nation. Just giving out food packs or building houses will not help. While that is important, this is more important. This is the thought process of Zam Zam Foundation's journey evolving into capacity building, nation building programs. Now, the next question comes, yes, we need to intervene. Where do we start? We have problem from the school children, as you know, you may see news every day, from the school children's up to the top of the country, the corruption, the lack of values. So where do we start? So we thought we had to start somewhere, and one of the important places that we thought we could start is the education system of Sri Lanka. So that's one of the reasons that where we partnered with the Central Province Department of Education to start a program that is aimed at developing principals and educators or directors of education who have better capacity, who can think like a corporate CEO, and also instill some values that they will take to their school, management, teachers, and then children. Rather than working on children, we started with the leadership. Of course, there is a need to work at every level, but we had to start somewhere. And we work with teachers, the principals, just to put some numbers into the equation for you all to think about. What is the impact? If you take a school principal, and if you take a school with 500 children led by this principal, how many hours per day is this principal supposed to manage to deliver value, deliver education? If you take 6 hours into 500, that is 3,000 hours a day. And how much does it work to for an year? If you say 160 days of school, how many hours of human hours is this principal supposed to manage? Do we have a system that educates them to use proper management techniques to manage these hours? Take the teachers. The impact that they can make on each and every child is immense if they have the right capacity and the right values. So that's why we started there. Then again, what are the other places? The community leadership. We take the mosques, imams. They have 20 minutes every week on Friday to deliver a Jummah sermon, right? They need to be able to deliver a message that can make a change within that 20 minutes. Yes, we have systems that educate them on the religious aspects, but building the capacity to manage time, deliver education, engage with a different group of people, that is required. So I'm not going through each and every program, but the main aspect is that we started our intervention at the social leadership level to build capacity with values. So this is the Zam Zam Foundation's evolution from over the last 10 years. And of course, we expect this to evolve and keep evolving further to become an organization that will set examples and empower other organizations to do the same. Because it's not going to be possible only for Zam Zam Foundation to do this. It's a big, huge task in this country. And Zam Zam Foundation expects to work with other organizations and encourage new organizations to come forward and work towards this cause. Today, we have all these graduates who have graduated over the last year. I expect the numbers to be much more next year for various reasons. One is, of course, we have a purpose-built, capacity-building center that is in Kandy that is now only focusing on this aspect. And we expect to deliver more value to the nation through that center, as well as the need, as we recognize the need, we would do more. But I would like to acknowledge the people who are here, the graduates, who have put their time and come and learned over the last 1 year and graduating today. I would also like to acknowledge all the donors, all the people who have helped Zam Zam Foundation in terms of money, with knowledge, time, and well-wishers, and also with criticism for further betterment of the organization. Again, I would like to warmly welcome all of you for today's event, and I hope you all enjoy the day and have a great day today. Thank you very much.